I begin to.
What's up, everybody? Y'all, look who I have in the building. Are we excited or what today? Los, if you want to, it is on, everything is being posted on the actual paint and release page. So if you want to repost it.
Okay. I just now.
I cannot, I was about to say, can I hear you? I can hear you though.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, you cutting in and out, but I can hear you. Maybe it's me.
Oh.
Maybe it's me. I got my headphones in. Maybe it's me. But I want to thank everybody for joining us. This is dope. I'm so excited. I'm nervous and excited at the same time. And I don't really know why, because I know Lowe's, but I'm
Right.
like, I'm in it. Huh?
I said, right. We're talking about you nervous, gang. What you mean?
I'm like, I know Lowe's. Like, I've been knowing Lowe's since like middle school. But I think because, you know what, I'm really like, I don't know, like I told you, I'm here on a mission. And so, you know, paint and release is very near and dear to me. So y'all know what my mission and vision is. Paint and release, our mission here is to create a space for creatives to, you know, just open a dialogue for them to be able to come through, be transparent, and be able to release through artistic expression. And then our vision is for them to be able to release and heal one brushstroke at a time. So that's what we all about. So I'm here on a mission. So I feel like I always kind of get kind of nervous and be like, y'all, I'm here on assignment.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So maybe that's what it is. Y'all, let me get my my volume together. But Los, how you feeling today? I know we spoke briefly yesterday. We didn't really go into details. I know you tried to get a little pregame on what we was gonna be talking about today. I wasn't going. Wasn't going.
Good. Good.
And you always talk about how it's weird to be interviewed because you're so used to interviewing. So
absolutely,
we're gonna break that though. We're gonna get you some more interviews. Y'all better start interviewing Los and finding out who the man is behind. That is exactly why I came up with the topic of discussion today. The man behind, you know what I'm saying? It's behind the entertainment. I want to know who you are as an individual. Like, so I think a lot of the times people get so lost and just, you know, the entertainment piece of it. They so worried about BoyLosCrazy. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Did I do the voice good?
That was
great. That was
close. That was G. You know what I'm saying? That was it.
Put me on the radio. You know what I'm saying?
You already there. We lit.
So I think a lot of the time people forget about who the individual is. And I really want to just be able to dive in and know who you are as an individual. So kind of give us some background on who Carlos is. I don't want to know who Los is, but give us some background on Carlos Smith.
It's you know, I make a short story shorter. I don't make it too long. Basically, I grew up in Chicago a little bit. I was in foster care when I was a kid. Mm-hmm. I grew up in Chicago. We was in the hundreds, Gardens, Block 3, me and my sister Parker. We grew up, it was tough, right? It was tough. Right. You know, we dealt with different things and the elements of being in poverty, but we didn't know, you know, we were living life. So then we moved. Well, I guess I was in Autumnn Gardens, the latest place I was. That's in the hundreds. But we also stayed on the low end down, right on the low end in Chicago, 3547 Federal, 35th Street.
Rep your set.
Right. And when I was in foster care, the lady, she had us moving around a lot of different places. When I was a baby, I don't remember most of that stuff, but Chicago, I definitely remember. My mother got custody of us, and then we moved out to when I was about in the fifth grade, yeah. It's when I came to Waukegan. A lot of people don't know I went to school in Waukegan. People don't remember that part.
I do.
Right. I know, right, because we were classmates. But yeah, so I was at John Clark. Then I went to Jack Benny, I believe. Yeah, I went to John Clark and Jack Benny for 2 years, I think. And then I moved to Chicago. And then, it was all she wrote after that. You know what I mean? North Chicago.
Right. You became a whole war hawk after that.
Oh, yeah. Totally.
But you know what? One thing I can personally say, that in middle school, when I did encounter you, Carlos, you was a force then. You came in the room, you commanded the room, and that was that. Like, we would just be like, who is this kid? Like, I just remember meeting you the first day and was like, who is this dude? Like, for me, I'm kind of like laid back and cool. And right. You just came in like, what up, y'all? And we was like, who is this? Like, who are you? Like, where do you come from?
Who are you?
I definitely think, like, you definitely was a force then. So, it was only right that, listen, at this point, you still be a force.
Absolutely.
So, because in the beginning, I definitely made the comment that I didn't want to hear who Los was. I wanted to know who Carlos was. But would you say that Los and Carlos are one and the same, or are they completely separate? Like that entertainment personality and Carlos, are they the same person, or are they different?
I think they are. I think they're the same person. I think in regular conversations, I heard so many times, bro, you ain't got to put your voice on. You feel me? You ain't got to talk to me like you on the radio. And I'd be like, bro, I'm just talking. You feel what I'm saying?
Right.
I'm speaking. So I believe they are. I believe the same. I think there's things that people just don't know about me that happened to me before we started the show. We started doing as kind of a public figure. I think they're one and the same for sure.
For sure. Okay. And definitely, like you said, people don't really know who you are. So that's the whole purpose of this today, y'all. Thank you so much for joining us. For everybody that has joined us today. If you are on, just shout out, say what's up. Let us know that you're here and that you're joining with us. We would love to give you a shout out. And I'm over here trying to share stuff, and I'm struggling. So I'm trying to share it to my personal page, but whatever. It's on Pain and Release. Carlos has shared it, so we just gonna rock it out today. Yeah. So definitely, because I think a lot of the time people don't know who, exactly who you are as an individual outside of the entertainment. That's what we want to do here today. Just give people just a insight for people to understand who people are. Like, you cannot judge people based off of their job description. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And I think people do that a lot of the time.
For sure.
So, with that being said, Carlos is going to be painting today. Carlos, please, this is Paint and Release. Show the people what you're going to be painting today. I kind of surprised them. I think I did good. Y'all, I didn't went exclusive and got the BoyLosCrazy logo.
That's hot.
Yeah, I walked in, he was like, oh, you didn't clown.
That's really cool. That's really cool. Straight up.
And shout out to One Crown Studio for definitely hooking us up. They always get our pre-drawn canvases for us and making sure that Paint and Release is set and ready to go with our guests. We definitely appreciate you guys over here at Paint and Release. So One Crown, thank you so much.
Absolutely.
So let's go ahead and get into it. So, Carlos.
Yes.
Because you said people don't know you very well, what would you say is a common misconception about you? What is something that people commonly, you know what I'm saying?
It's a deep question. It's a deep question there. I'm gonna answer this the right way. I don't wanna not answer.
There's no politically correct way. We're releasing today.
So what you mean the right way?
Well, I think your past can be equated with like intent more than it to be. Where your past is kind of equated to, well, that's who he is. That's what he does. That's what he wants to do. On my album, Heart Problem, really it was a conversation that I wanted to have with people who thought they knew me, or who actually didn't know me, who have experienced who I am to them.
Okay.
And it's not about the misconception is that I mistreat women purposely.
Okay.
And that's not something that I like. That's something that I'm proud of. I think it's something that is that I had to drag with me, and I've done stupid stuff in my life in dealing with relationship, of course. Whether it's intentional or not, that's what you did. So I don't want to say it's a misconception, because I believe I've made reason for people to
think it.
But I just wanted, the misconception is the intention part. It wasn't intentive. You know what I mean? I'm not trying to do that to try to be like a player or trying to finesse the game.
Player from the Himalayas.
Right. You know what I'm saying? That's not that's not
your intention.
Yeah.
So, hey, Sharnita, thank you so much for joining us. Sharnita is on YouTube joining us. Y'all know that we have both platforms available. Whichever, I know people have their cup of tea. So wherever you want to join us, you can either join us on YouTube, or you can also join us live on Facebook, whatever your cup of tea is. So like us on Facebook, subscribe to us on YouTube, whatever is convenient for you. We would love to have you guys join the family. So yeah, definitely. So I get it. You saying that that's really not a misconception, because you have created that space for people to believe that about you as an individual. It sounds like you just really want them to kind of remove you out of that space, because that's not where you are anymore.
Right.
Would you say you've grown out of that? You like, look, I'm not.
We're growing out of it. You don't like.
Okay.
Yeah. It's absolute. I don't live my life in an absolute fashion. I'm not that. I don't do that no more. I think when people say that, that's too too finite in their flaws, or in their vices. A lot of people try to go to things that they hurt people or hurt themselves, and they try to do it too fast. There's a thing that they say where if somebody's trying to quit smoking, don't tell nobody, because the that you are trying to quit smoking and you tell everybody, and then you might light up one day, blink, and everybody like, oh, I thought you said you was quitting.
Okay. So you basically saying give yourself room to grow.
Sure.
That's
it.
Give yourself room to grow. Don't put a cap on yourself when it comes to the growth and the possibilities and things that you can do with your growth. So you basically are letting people know, look, I'm still growing. This is still a process. And I think that's with anybody, and anybody should understand that when it comes to growth and healing and things like that, that's an ongoing process. We've used the term a lot of the times, an onion, like you peeling back layers and layers. And some things may lie dormant within you, and then you might think you healed from that, and it come back up in some different situations, and you be like, wait a minute, hold on. So, y'all, I don't know what I'm painting today. And I have come on this show several times and told y'all, I don't know what I'm painting today, because I really just don't. Like, my canvas is as blank as it comes. Like, there's nothing there. There's nothing there.
So do you have to sketch it out and paint, or are you just gonna paint?
Sometimes I do, but if I'm thinking that I'm gonna do something abstract, so it's really not gonna matter. So I think that it's not really gonna matter anyways. But yeah, I don't know what I'm painting today, y'all. I really don't. And I think that's okay. I think it's okay to sometimes just come with a blank canvas, and whatever come out.
Absolutely. I agree 100%.
Los, did you start painting yours yet?
I have not. I thought you tell me to start or something. I don't know.
No,
okay.
Go ahead.
Bad.
No, I'm not gonna tell you go. Okay, now you can start now. No, I'm not gonna.
Okay, I didn't know. I didn't know the rules.
I'm not gonna do that to you. I'm not gonna do that to you. But yeah, so y'all, thank you for joining us though. For everybody that is watching, once again, I'm on here with the one and only BoyLosCrazy. It's truly an honor to be sitting here with him, because this man, I think I've told Los before, like, you don't never sit still. You don't never sit still. You do so much.
Yeah.
You do so much. And I think I was talking to Maxi last night, and I was trying to go down your resume, like,
right.
So Los do this, he do this, and he do this, and he be here, and he do this. But I don't even know if I touched everything. So kind of give us a brief rundown of some of the things that you are affiliated with, and some of the things that you are doing in the community. One of my things that I truly love is your involvement with the youth when it comes to Elite Striders. That is always been something that I've always admired, because you've taken that opportunity that you had and you paid it forward. So I know that's one of the things that I personally was like, Los he be with them kids and he love them to death. So what are some of the other things that you do in the community?
Well, I mean, that's the staple for me. A lot of people think the Crazy Riot Show.
Y'all know Los busy, which he must be getting a call. Hold on.
People steady calling my phone. Hold on. I can't even do it. I'm messing it up.
That's okay. We can still hear you.
Okay, cool. So,
but we want to see your face too. So we'll wait. Like, come on back in the room.
I don't know what's wrong with this thing. The technology be acting a fool sometimes. Hold on.
He'll be back, y'all. Well, just there you go. You back.
Oh, bam. There we go. So the drill team is the staple. I mean, is the staple for me. A lot of people think the Crazy Riot Show is a staple thing, but it is, because it's probably the biggest thing that I do. But to me, the biggest thing I do is the drill team. I work with a very cool organization called Legacy, LYAP.
Okay, I heard of Legacy.
Yeah, so it's we do youth and prevention stuff. Just trying to create opportunities for shorties and different opportunities for kids who want to just get involved with different things, from finding their career paths, from changing their trajectory, from being in the streets to doing something else. You know what I'm saying?
Doing something different.
So that's what we're doing with that. Shout out to George Moore. Shout out to Regina Moore.
Yes, definitely the Moores. Shout out to y'all.
Absolutely.
Definitely.
I'm a partner in a business called Power. We have a facility in Gurnee. It's really cool. Basketball courts, a skate park. A lot of stuff in there. We got different rooms that you can rent out. Podcast space. So if anybody's out there looking for a podcast space, I have like 5 podcast spaces that I'm renting out right now for people. I mean, those are kind of like the staple things, like I said.
The staple things.
Yeah.
So, Los, I just seen a new venture that you, and I just was telling Maxi this. I'm like, when I tell you this man mind is like, I'll be so amazed with some of the things you come up with. What's the new venture that you're doing? And I believe that you're doing it based out of Power. Is it called The Bus or something, where you have artists?
Right.
Okay, talk about that, because that to me was like that. Music and art and anything creative, I'd be like, oh no, look at that. So tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, so the Power Bus it's similar to the Tiny Desk. I was kind of inspired by the Tiny Desk Room, and how they created a place for artists to come through and creatively perform. So I'm a techie guy, so I spend a lot of money on equipment and cameras and lighting and microphones and all this cool stuff. And I don't use it as much as I should, because I eventually want to get involved in making movies. Okay. You remember, I don't know if you remember, I did The Bridge with Joshua Randolph.
Yes.
And we also did something called Saved by the Beat, which was more of the recent venture for this generation.
Yeah.
So the Power Bus is just another venture that I saw. I challenged myself from an industry standard. And that kind of sounds a little funny, but when I see something on TV, I say to myself, I can do it. Not so much that if I want to do it, it's more like a challenge that I can do it. It's kind of the Kobe Bryant in me a little bit. That's my favorite basketball player.
Right. We know that.
And I kind of challenged myself to create content. So that was something that we did and something that we're doing. Our next guest is Quarter to Great on that show. But yeah, it's just a platform for people around in Lake County. A lot of people tell me I should move and go to LA and go to Atlanta, which is something that we're going to venture out and do. But my hub will always be here because I want to give the opportunity to people that don't have it. You know what I'm saying? So yeah.
And that's definitely key. Like you basically you paying it forward from where the neighborhood and the community that you came from, and giving back to that. And I think that's very dope. Ashley, thank you for joining us. If I say this wrong, Sawab, thank you for joining us. I'm sorry if I pronounce your name wrong. Thank you so much for joining us, y'all. I definitely appreciate y'all tapping in with us today. I definitely have a very, very special guest with us today. So just diving into finding out who Carlos Smith is. You guys know him as BoyLosCrazy. I be trying to do the voice, but my throat be hurt trying to do that. I don't know how you do that. And you'll do that all night. Like, don't let you be in the club because you'll do that all night.
Tonight is going down. 90s versus 2000 party at Kenosha.
Y'all heard it here first. Your girl don't club no more, but if that's your cup of tea, Carlos will be out on the mic. Absolutely. Turning up with y'all. Absolutely. So then let's hop back into these questions. So Carlos, you definitely briefly went into something that I wanted to dive into you with, and that was your album Heart Problems. So I guess you kind of answered my question because I was going to ask you kind of what inspired that project, but you basically kind of in a nutshell said that it was because you wanted to express yourself and show people, is it kind of why you kind of reacted in certain situations the way you did, or what was that?
I think the base of it was I was tired of being judged. I still am, of being judged from the things that I did. Now, the women that were in my life would say, well, Carlos, you still probably doing it. You know what I'm saying? Don't try to act like you ain't. You know what I'm saying? But the thing about it was this. When I created Heart Problems, it didn't affect me. I just was speaking from my experiences and of what I felt at the time. Mm-hmm. When I started to perform Heart Problems, it was different because I was saying it out loud, out in front of people. And I realized I got to really hold myself accountable for what I'm saying. Mm-hmm. I recorded it in my studio for sure. And I meant every word while recording it. But when you're speaking it in person, it gave me a time to actually reflect on the things that I've actually done a little bit deeper. So it was like a 3-step process. And the reason why I did the deluxe album is because I still had some other things that I had to say that was regarding those issues that I was going, that we still go through when you're dealing with women or dealing with a partner in life. So yeah, I mean, it was reckless behavior of what I was doing and still can do. You know what I'm saying? I can be vulnerable and say that, where it's not something that I've erased myself from doing. It's something that I got to rid myself of and just become a better man, moving forward,
Moving forward. And I think, and that's the big step for when you are able to actually hold yourself accountable and being able to like say, this is the role that I played in it. And, I'm moving forward from it. Now, like you said, to get everybody else to kind of move forward from it, that's not always the easy part. But I mean, that part, you can't always worry about that. You have to kind of just move on in your healing. Yes. What would you say is a reason that you haven't in the past been able to properly love, where you've had to, you've had some missteps in relationships or even, and not even just romantically. I think a lot of the time people always get hung up in the romantic piece of it too, but just in relationships in general, what have been, would you say is some reasons that you've kind of misstepped in some situations in relationships?
I mean, what I seen, right? My mom, when my mom got custody of us, she was dealing with a guy, which was basically a father figure to me. They didn't have the most perfect relationship, of course. And then she stopped dealing with him, and she started dealing with another guy who was more of a wholesome man. He's pretty much my dad today. You know what I'm saying? I think the example she set for me in men was good. I think the two guys she dealt with in my lifetime showed me what a father figure should do, but I don't think they showed me what a husband would have done. So I had to pretty much, and I'm having to kind of figure out the best way to be the best boyfriend. So for me, I think I don't focus so much on the romantic part of it, which kind of sucks for the girls who really love me in life. I kind of focus on like helping build people. That's something that I've always done, is help build a person's dreams. I want to help you build your lifestyle and becoming successful as an individual before I'm worried about you romantically. Of course, I'm attracted to you. Of course, I want you. Of course, I want to be around you. But I don't express those things in the best ways. And I don't show those things in the best ways because I'm focused on becoming successful. I'm focused on you becoming successful. I'm focused on us being happy with ourselves individually.
Right.
Before I'm worried about me making you solely happy. And that's coming around to bite me in the butt sometimes. Where it's like, well, you don't want to go out on dates. You know, you don't want to, Valentine's Day isn't important to you, and birthdays. On birthday, if any girl ever dated me on a birthday, you getting like something that's going to help you become a better boss. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm showing it to your life that way. You feel
right?
me?
If you got a TV show, he paying for your StreamYard for a year.
You know what? Oh, that's it. You know what I'm saying? You got, you doing makeup. You may be doing a clothing line. You might want to make T-shirts. I'm trying to that way. Versus it being the teddy bears and the candy and me spending $800, $900 on a pair red bottoms. I might buy myself some red bottoms.
I'm gonna say, come on now.
But that's the selfish part of me. Growing up, not having nothing. But so yeah, I don't know if that answered your question.
It did. It definitely did. So I think that I think. So let's take a step back. So have you ever heard of the 5 love languages?
Yes.
Okay. So your love language may not be spending quality time, affirmations, or what I'm saying, yours probably may be gifts.
Right. Somebody said that to me before. Yeah.
Practical gifts.
Yeah.
Like, I want you to be able to give me something that is going to help me further my career, a venture that I'm doing, whatever that looks like. But like you said, it's coming back to bite you in the butt at this point, because you're dealing with an individual who love language and gifts. She wants words of affirmation, quality time. And it's like, now what do we do to shift that mindset? So what steps will you take really in the future to kind of shift that mindset and know that everybody doesn't love like I love? And if I want these successful relationships, even though you like, look, I ain't even think about the romantic part of it, shorty. I just want you to be a boss with me, which, you know what I'm saying? She like, that's fine and dandy. I definitely want to be a boss with you, but I want you to spend time with me. How are you going to, and I think I've asked you this before, how are you going to find that balance? What steps are you going to take to be able to find that balance?
Being really honest with you, at this time, I'm not interested in finding that balance.
Okay.
I'm more interested in, and this may sound really, really selfish, but it's okay for me, because I'm being honest with myself.
I can say it's honesty. It's the honesty that matters. If
that's something that somebody wants me to do right now, she gotta help me do that. I won't be able to flip a switch and be that guy, or even, I'm not gonna say I won't be able to flip a switch and try to be that guy, because I can't. But the best way that somebody could usher me into that way of thinking is to help me, and don't beat me up for not being there right now. I think if she could help me, usher me into thinking and knowing who I am and how I am, and not that I'm set in my ways, because I'm not young enough to be set in any way. I'm not old enough to be set in any way.
But that's 30 years of having to relearn something. So people definitely have to be patient.
Right.
Like, I mean, anytime that people are switching up something that they've, they've been doing that's been programmed in them for maybe 30 some years, like that's going to take some time. So I definitely get what you're saying. You're going to have to be patient with me.
Absolutely.
So it's not that you're not willing.
Right.
It's just that you're like, you know what? I need you to be patient with me.
Right.
And I get that. I definitely get that. I definitely do. So, Carlos, one of your songs, No More, because I had to go re-listen to the album.
Yeah.
I listened to it when it first came out.
Yeah.
Then I didn't even realize, I don't even know. I'm like so out of the loop nowadays. I didn't even realize that you had did a deluxe. I think I kind of seen that you did a deluxe, but I didn't realize how many new songs you had added to this deluxe.
Yeah.
So was it 7+ more songs? Like you added 7 more?
I think it was 6. I want to say it was 6
more.
It might have been 7. You may know better than me. I don't know.
Cause I thought it was like 6, 7 songs on it originally. So you added about 6, 7 more songs, but no more. One of the lines that you just said, you kept saying was, I know you don't really love me no more. How true, how close to home is that statement for you? Like,
that's facts. I mean, that's 100%.
Did that come from a real situation?
Oh yeah.
Okay, so let's dive into that. Like, when you wrote this song, and I know like when you were writing songs, and I think a lot of people understand, especially with artists, regardless of what type of artist you are, whether that's painting, music, photography, we use these avenues as therapy a lot of the time.
Absolutely.
What was going through your head during this song? Especially that lyric in itself, when you have to sit there and reiterate, I know you don't really love me no more. What was going through your head?
What was going through my head was I was being basically taken advantage of. It was pretty much again, I'm being vulnerable with you, gang. We graduated the same year. There's about 3 women in my life who've done to me what I've done to most women. And I'm conscious that it's my karma. You know what I'm saying? I'm conscious that it's my karma. I say that all the time, like, you my karma. You doing to me what I've done to so many people unconsciously. So I'm aware that she's just doing her. You know what I mean? She just living her best life. Like I was living my best life, and like I still will live my best life. I just got caught up in the middle of my heart. You know what I'm saying? I love her. And she decided to go do her. And it hurt. But she keep telling me she want me. She keep telling me she love me. She keep telling me that she gonna be with me. She keep telling me that it don't mean nothing. The other guy she dealing with don't really matter. I'm the guy. And I'm saying to myself, I know you don't really love her. Just be honest.
That's not what I'm feeling though.
Yeah, just be honest. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Okay. Because I know that hurts. Like I've been in situations too where you kind of, and then I think, have you ever been like to that point where you kind of give people that out to be like, just tell me if you don't want to be with me no more?
Unfortunately, no.
You didn't do that?
No, I don't want to lose it. I don't want to lose nobody.
Y'all, I'm charging in my phone so we don't die here. But I've come to the point where I'm knowing that you don't really love me no more, and I'm trying to get you out, and you still ain't going nowhere. That's the part that pissed me off.
Right.
Like I done told you, like, if at any given moment, if you don't want to do this no more, you can.
Right. I mean, I've said that, but I probably didn't mean it. You know what I'm saying?
You didn't mean it.
Just saying, yeah.
Because you want your cake and eat it too.
There you go. You was
like, nah, sure, I'm gonna keep you as long as I can.
But I mean, it's coming from where I came from, and this is another aspect I never really talk about. When I was in Waukegan, girls weren't into me like that. You know what I mean? Like y'all wasn't checking for boys. I wasn't checking for me in the 6th grade. You know what I'm saying? My boy Barnes was getting the checks. You know what I'm saying? My boy Montreal was getting the checks. You know what I'm saying? Reginald Thomas was getting the checks. You know what I'm saying? They was, shout out to my boys and my boy. Shout out to them. But those were the guys that were being sought after in a way. You know what I'm saying? I was the new kid. I ain't had a freshness woo-wop-these on. There wasn't nobody looking like, hey, look at Carlos. You know what I'm saying? When I moved to North Chicago, it changed. Everything changed. I was a new kid. Did nobody know me? I was a light-skinned kid. You know what I mean? So, You know, I always tell a story.
The light skinned boy, the new light skinned boy.
Right. My first day in 7th grade, you know, Charcy Little came out the classroom. Oh, you fine as, you know, I'll never forget that. And she know that's true. Shout out to Charcy.
Shout out to my god sister. Don't try to put her out while she's not on here to defend herself.
She'll tell you that story. You know what I'm saying? Charcy loved me for 2 years straight. But so once I moved to North Chicago, things started to change for me. Girls started to be like, okay, you know what I'm saying?
Oh,
you know, but
okay.
it still wasn't to a point to where I saw my other brothers, you know, doing what they was doing.
Mm-hmm.
So I've always chased that. You know, men chase that need to be wanted, that need to be desired and sought after. You know what I'm saying? So we don't never want to let nobody go.
Women do too.
You know, yeah.
Women do too.
Okay.
Let's be very clear. A woman definitely wants to be sought after, desired, all of that. So
right.
Thank you so much, Jerry, Nettie, for joining us. Thank you guys for joining us. We thank you for coming on in the room with us. We are interviewing Mr. BoyLosCrazy himself, Mr. Carlos Smith. I tell Carlos all the time, my cousin, because you know we got the same last name. He hates when I say that. People like, I am not your cousin. Like, yes,
not cousin.
This is my cousin, y'all. But so we were just diving into one of his songs, No More, because I think that lyric for me really hit home, talking about I know you really don't love me no more. So that was something big. So just because you being vulnerable with us now, what steps besides the music and writing the album itself, what steps have you taken really to kind of heal and work through the heart problems? Because I mean, you can't hang on to that forever.
Right.
So what steps have you taken as an individual besides writing the music and using that as your therapy to kind of really work through that? If anything, because you might be like, the music was what I did and that was it.
Right. Well, I don't know if there's actual steps. I think you're right when you say the music was something that I actually did intentional. That was intentionally done. Well, I don't say it was intentionally done to fix myself. Absolutely not. It was done to express myself, and it actually fixed some parts of me. I'll say that. Well, it's this thing I call breaking the glass. You know, something you can't see, but it's stopping you from moving forward or going up. I have to continue to break the glass. And that means I have to challenge myself to do things that I normally wouldn't do. I got chewed out by one of my mentors yesterday, and she basically was telling me, like, look, dude, if you want to go to the next level, you got to really go into a place you've never been, and it's uncomfortable to be in those spaces, but that's how you're going to get to the next level. You want to be a local guy. 20 years from now, they say, Carlos, you could have made it. You could have did it. She said, the only way that I could do it is I start doing things that I think I don't have to do. So it's the same thing with love. I have to do some things that I don't want to do. Or I'm not gonna say don't want to do, things that I feel like I don't have to do. I have to start doing those things to become a better partner for somebody who wants those things. You know what I'm saying? All
right. Okay, well, you see, Josh then stepped in and said, Carlos is in my therapy session class. So we gonna get them together. I know
absolutely not, Josh.
He gonna help you get it together. But that's really good, though. I think that's really good for you to be able to acknowledge, like, I might have not done every little thing or made every step to, but I'm working towards that. And that's all that one can ask, is that you acknowledge it and you begin to work towards it. And coming from someone who has had to work through a lot of healing and, you know, heartbreak, it's not comfortable. Right. But the only thing that I can really tell you in this moment and in this season is really continue to push through it. Don't give up, because what's on the end of it is going to be so much rewarding than the storm that you go through.
Right.
So it's like, continue to go through the storm, continue to work through it. And it's gonna be well worth it on the end. Because when you look back and you see where you've come from and like where you've been and where you at now, it'd be like, okay, I thank you. Like, absolutely. God, thank you. You know, you absolutely really helped me through that. So, all right. So we talked about, it's like I had questions and Carlos was just answering them. So I'm like excited because I'm like everything just really flowing, and I'm just like, okay. I hear you talk a lot about just success, and career wise and things like that. Like I know.
Hold on, let me charge this phone. Let me put my charger. I want.
Oh yeah, please put your charger in, y'all. We're gonna take a quick moment so he can put his charger in. Again, if y'all are just joining us, we do have Mr. Carlos BoyLosCrazy with us. Smith, he is joining us. He is really opening up and being vulnerable with us today. We are painting and releasing. I told y'all I didn't have anything started. I'm kind of on here just like splatting stuff on a canvas right now. I'm gonna have Carlos show y'all his painting, his canvas when he comes back. We were able to get him a pre-drawn canvas from our friends at One Crown Studio. So they were able to get him together with a pre-drawn canvas. I had to get him something a little special because, you know, I was like, you know what, this one of the homies from around the way from where we was shorty. So I had to make sure that he was set and ready to go for today. And right now we're making sure that his phone doesn't die because that would not be good. Carlos, show them real quick your canvas that you got.
This is really, really bad, by the way. I am not a painter. Let me say that.
It don't matter. You just, y'all look at him. You didn't got real fancy. You didn't make the letters different colors. Like I didn't think you was gonna do all that. You done got real fancy on the people. Y'all see Carlos over here trying to do the thing. Okay, listen, definitely. So, Carlos, you know, I hear you definitely. I definitely hear you talk a lot about just career, and everything like that, and just leveling up. And that's definitely not a bad mind space to be in, to be able to not be stagnant and being able to continually grow. But the one question that I want to pose to you is, what is one thing in your life that no amount of success, money, or fame could fix for you? Like what is one thing that you really be like, you know, because I think a lot of the times people strive for those type of things to solve certain issues and they don't end up solving it.
Right.
That's why you have famous people that still deal with, you know what I'm saying, different things, and they end up going through certain depressions and taking their lives and things like that. So what is one thing that you would say no amount of money, success, or fame would be able to fix?
I think that well, I don't know if I answer this correctly, but you tell me if I'm wrong or not. Like I think being a dad, I think being a father is something that I've never equipped for me to be. I never said to myself, I got to be successful to be a great dad. I don't think I think that's something that I can for sure say. Because I've seen people be great dads without being rich or not without having mansions and multiple cars. Mm-hmm. Anything that I would be able to fix, I don't know. That's a good question. That's something I probably have to think about a little bit more.
Yeah, so because one of the things, what I'm asking is something like a heart problem, like matters of the heart, not, you know, the practical things, mm-hmm. but matters of the heart. For me, just to give an example, for me, money, success, or fame would not fix my self-doubt that I carry within myself.
Well, that's a great example, which gives me a little bit more clarity. I'm probably the exact opposite in certain ways. Some people feel like I'm a public figure. I'll put the quotations on that because I doubt myself a little bit more than I should, and I don't want to kind of take on that title just yet because I believe I got to get to a higher level to be a public figure. You know, I question what I do today is if it's not effective enough because I'm not internationally known. I question that. I can be vulnerable and say that. Where I feel like my success will be, I'll be able to say, I pulled up in the Lamb, nigga. I told you I was gonna do it, nigga. What you mean? I made it. You know what I'm saying? I did it. But on the other hand, I say to myself, well, if I could create a place for people to go to in my neighborhood, then that's all I need to do. Well, I've done that. I successfully reached that goal in 2021. So I'm saying, like, I battle with that all the time. Am I going to be this international big celebrity, or did God create me to be this guy that just serves my neighborhood? So that's a good question. Good question.
Yeah. So then my next question is, have you, and I don't know where you are as far as on the spiritual level, have you conversated with God and been like, is this all that you have for me? Or is there more that will you say to me, good and well, my good and faithful servant, or is there more that you want me to do?
I have not had that conversation. I think that's probably the void. I have not entered into that spiritual realm of even activity. I definitely haven't done that. I believe in God for sure. I believe in Jesus Christ as well. Because I don't want to make it seem like it's a difference for me. So yeah, that's something I have not actively pursued at all.
Okay. Do you think that you've kind of found what so basically you don't feel like you know exactly what your purpose is as of yet?
Right.
And I think we talked about that, like going back to, we talked to you on Free Thinkers. Oh my gosh, I don't know when that was.
It was in the summer, I think.
That was in the summertime, and we talked. I think we kind of dived into that. He was like, I don't think I really figured that out yet.
Right.
Okay. So that's safe to say. And I mean, everyone has not figured out their purpose. And it really comes to, that's a personal thing, something that you do on a personal level. And I personally believe that it's something that happens between you and God to really figure out what that is. But to each his own. But I definitely want to just thank you, Carlos, for just really sitting down and being able to take this moment and be vulnerable. And I'm going to address it as thank you for, as a Black man, coming and sitting down and being vulnerable. Because I think a lot of the times y'all are so under scrutiny to be like, y'all don't be over there crying. Don't be over there, you got to put on this hard shell all of the time. And I thank you for being able to sit down with me and really open up with talking about things of matters of the heart and love and, your childhood and everything like that. So I appreciate you joining us today. Y'all, Carlos told me that he has a very busy schedule today. Y'all
crazy. But it's cool. I like it like that, right? That's how it's supposed to be.
Always moving. See, I'm the opposite. I need to chill. Like, I got to find balance between me. Like, that's another thing. Do you ever have time for yourself? Do you ever?
When I'm asleep, when we just relax, and we got time to relax. And that's something that I battle with too, Autumn, is like, some people that say, well, I ain't got time to sleep, and I got to get to it. I don't have that mentality.
Okay.
But that's just the way that it goes. That's just the way that the way that my life kind of operates, where we don't really have a lot of time not to do anything. But when we do have those moments, we get to it, because I always compare myself to when I get to another level. Then am I saying that I still won't have any time? There's time. There's a lot of time. It's just things that I filled it up with in my life. Because if I get to another level, I have to travel over here, go over there, same day. You know what I mean? So there's always more you can do in a day.
Yeah. And I think that over time, and once you get into a space of just being, because I think, Carlos going to get into a place where, and I'm manifesting, he's going to get into a place where pretty much a lot of his businesses are going to run themselves. And he's going to be able to take family out and just vacation. And they're going to call him like, hey, boss, what you want us to do with this? Just do this.
Right.
And he'll be able to just praying. One call away. You know what I'm saying? We're going to speak that into existence. So, thank you so much for joining us, everybody, and stopping by with us for Pain and Release today. It's been such a pleasure to have Mr. Carlos with us. I've learned a lot, and I hope that you guys have learned a lot. make sure you guys check Carlos out. We have definitely linked all of his social medias in the bio on YouTube. We're going to put him here on Facebook as well. Check him out. He has so many different things that he's doing in the community. Y'all just make sure y'all stay in touch with him. Carlos, is there anything that you would like to say to the people before you leave today?
I'll say this about you. It's about you. It's not about me.
Oh.
I see the transformation in you. It's something that's very visible. It's something that that I can feel and hear. So I want to say shout out to you for being transformational, for you feeling like whatever was going on prior to, you said I got to make a change, and you did that, and you're a testament that God helped you do that. So you're letting me know as one of your peers that if I do want to go to another level and want to transform, that it takes a belief. It takes a belief in God, whether you believe in whatever, but it takes a true commitment and belief in it. So I got to say shout out to you.
Thank you. You know what? That really just touched me, because I definitely just going back to what you were saying, like, am I doing enough? And but I also had the mindset that whoever my audience is, God is gonna send them, and they'll be touched and they'll be there. Thank you so much, Jerry. She says, y'all dope, great show. Thank you so much. We appreciate you for joining us today. But yeah, y'all. So I'm gonna let the boy BoyLosCrazy hop to it. I know he over there busy. I told him he better hang his picture up, so I will be visiting the studio to make sure that the picture get added to the paint wall. To make sure your logo is up there and ready to go. But y'all, thank you so much for joining us. It's been a pleasure having you. It's been a pleasure just sitting down with everybody who's out here watching us. We just appreciate y'all here at Paint and Release. So we will see y'all on the next show. Thank you. We'll holler at y'all. Deuces, y'all.